So unfortunately, yeah, thank you. Sorry, I'm George Rothwark, I'm from Playdeck, and we do not have a video for you. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, there we go, thank you. So we're Playdeck. We make digital hobby games. We've been doing this for a couple of years now. Some of the titles that we've worked on in the past are up there. We bring them out currently for iOS, universal application, so buy it once, get it on all your devices with asynchronous gameplay. We were very, very excited to be working with Wizards of the Coast. I myself grew up playing Dungeons & Dragons, and as you see, the next slide, the game we're working on is Lords of Waterdeep. Has anyone here actually played Lords of Waterdeep, the board game? All right, that's a pretty good chunk. For those of you who haven't, I recommend you go to Hall D and check out the tabletop play area and try it. It is a fantastic board game. We were actually fans of the game before we got the opportunity to work with Wizards of the Coast. As I said, those of us in the studio, we are tabletop gamers and hobby gamers and grew up on Dungeons & Dragons. And it is a worker placement city building game, and it's an absolutely, in my opinion, amazing marriage of theme and mechanic. It takes place in the city of Waterdeep, which is of course storied in tabletop role-playing game lore. You play a shadowy Lords of Waterdeep, sending out your agents to manipulate the city, recruit fighters and clerics, and go on quests, score points in the traditional Euro style. And it's fantastic. It was award-winning long before we got our opportunity to get our hands on it. So we're very, very excited to be bringing it out. Next slide. So, I'm sorry, more after that, I guess. Yeah, so it'll be out for iPad and iOS at launch. We have a playable in the hands of Wizards of the Coast now. We're still working on the interface, so I don't have too much to actually show you. I'm going to give you a little bit of information about the game itself. Wizards is very happy with it so far. They're playing it. So we're working directly with the designers and the development team weekly, and we're really, really excited. Go to the next slide. So in some of our previous games, we've done a little bit of interpretation of the play space. Play space in bringing a board game or a card game to digital is one of the biggest challenges. You're sort of surprised at how much information you get about the state of the game by just looking across the table. You have cards in your hands, you have some hidden information, some known information, you can look over at your opponent and see what's going on. Making that information available to you while playing, the important stuff you need to know on any one turn to make a decision is actually a pretty big challenge. So in our past, as I said, some of our games we've interpreted, but we're doing a very representational version of Lords of Waterdeep. It actually has a vertical orientation, which is exactly like the board. We get to use the original art from the game, of course, some of the stuff from the role-playing game history, so we're very excited. You're going to be able to pan and zoom around the board. You play, as in many worker placement games, you drag your agent out and place them in the locations. Rather than along the horizontal axis, all your play spaces at the bottom, that sort of thing. You'll be able to zoom in your cards, scrub through your hand, push buttons if there's an immediate action, all the kinds of features that we've done in our previous games. We've also announced, at the same time that we announced the partnership back in April, we announced that we're working on community features that are going to be woven into our game. So of course they're going to be woven into Lords of Waterdeep. We're very excited about that. You'll be able to create friends lists and invite friends through our online games, arrange for times to play, know when your friends are online by logging into the game and looking. We're going to support Game Center achievements, so all of that great system that people love to do. And next slide. Oh yeah, there you go, sorry. For offline features, you're going to be able to do pass and play, so you're going to be able to hand the device around like a digital play board or set it in the middle of the table. We've got a lot of great feedback of people who like to use games like this as travel sets rather than bringing the original board game. We still recommend you go buy the original board game, 2 or 3 copies. We're big fans. But you can carry the iPad when you travel, it's a lot easier. We'll have AI opponents, so you can play against the computer. You can also mix human and AI players, so if 2 of us want to play, we can add 3 opponents if we'd like the full game. You're going to be able to select the faction that you're sending out into the city to do your dirty work. And of course, all the normal sort of learn features that we've done: rule book, tutorial, card gallery, where you can go and review when you're not actually playing the game, the cards, their effects, that sort of thing. Everything that we do in digital for hobby games, we really like to give people the opportunity to get into the game very easily, learn it, and that eases taking it to the table, because sometimes you get people, of course the first thing you have to do is set it all up, teach them how to play. Here's something you can take off and learn on your own. We have profiles, so you keep track of your win-loss records. For online play, we're actually going to have player ratings. So as you play other people online, everyone will start with a default rating, and as you win, it improves. And then we have a quick match feature where you can ask for a game against people who have a range that you set in terms of being better than you or slightly lower rated than you. We have our asynchronous play, so in turn-based games, you can take your turn, turn off the machine. When your opponents take their turn, you get the notification. You can just log back in, take your turn. Our games also play in real time. We've got a lot of interest for our, people talking about our asynchronous gameplay. But of course, if you happen to be online at the same time, you take your turn, they take their turn, you can play an entire game in about half an hour. Or you can set it for as long as 28 days. And then you have a long period of time to play. You'll need a Playdeck online account to play. We have our own servers now. We've always had we have our own account system now. We've always had our own gameplay servers. And once you have that, then we'll be able to connect you with other Playdeck players, through the friends list, and that sort of thing. And then we have online profile and player ratings, as I said, so you'll be able to track when you go to log in, you go find a game, you can go look at the opponents, and how often you win, how often you forfeit, decide whether or not you like to play the game, see all the settings. So it's scheduled for late 2013. As I said, we have a playable in hand. Wizards is playing it, so we're pretty far along, but we obviously don't like to say when it's coming out until it's ready. We're polishing all the in-game interface right now, and the front end is underway, and we're, again, very excited to be bringing it out. We had been big fans when we got the email. We're very excited. Gary Weiss, our CEO, is sitting in the back. Go. Keep contacting. So we're very grateful for Wizards including us in all the events for Gen Con, and we just look forward to bringing it to you and having you play.
I would say one of the nice things about being in my position on D&D is I have Chris Young, who some of you might know him. He really manages a lot of the relationships we have. So I just get to be a fan purely in terms of seeing new games come in, the new builds, the new content. So it's been really exciting, I know from my point of view, where we're branching out now and have some really strong partnerships with some great studios and publishers doing some really great games. And I hope you guys feel that excitement too. So I think at this stage, if there's any questions, we're going to do a Q&A, and I think Jack is at the top of the hour, so.
Yes, got a game. Sorry, guys.
Got a game.
I know it's
Nice.
odd, it's Gen Con.